moving on to the United States. For now, hidden votes will elect the next U.S. president, it seems. And the reason we are saying that is because with barely 2 weeks to go for that electoral contest to unfold, both the candidates are sharpening their closing pitches. Democratic nominee Kamala Harris and the Republican nominee Donald Trump are making their last-ditch attempts to woo a section of voters. We are talking about the undecided voters. Who are they and how will they shape the election? Let's break it down for you. Now, you may have heard pollsters talk at length about how the elections could ride on the back of undecided Americans. These are voters who are neither in favor of Harris nor Donald Trump. Undecided voters are those who are still sitting on the fence in a way. But the answer to why they are still undecided depends on many complex issues. The reasons are many. It's because they cannot decide between who to vote, or is it because they cannot decide if they even want to vote? Both could be true. That's why this is a complex issue. And that is why both the candidates are wooing them, trying hard so that they can vote for them. Both the Trump and Harris campaigns are focusing their energies on undecided voters by putting them in two categories: persuadable and irregular. It starts with the basic question: can I persuade them to vote for me? If yes, then the strategy can be built a certain way around them. These are the voters that get maximum media attention, by the way. Then we have the irregulars, those who do not go to the polls. These voters can shape the election because the non-habitual voters swing back and forth. You see, this happens because many undecided voters are unsure if voting is even worth their time and effort. They wonder, will the singular vote even count? Will the vote make any difference? Or their simple contention could be, why should I vote for Harris or why should I vote for Trump? That's a legitimate concern as well. If a voter believes that neither can make a difference, that's a decision as well. Either way, both the candidates building their strategies around the undecided voters in the hopes of bringing them on their side. Now, here's why the undecided voters are important. In interviews, Harris and Trump advisors have told media outlets about just who they think are still up for grabs. And here's what both the camps have observed. A majority of the undecided voters are young people with a disproportionate share of Black and Latino voters. Meanwhile, the Harris campaign believes it can still win over some white, college-educated voters, particularly women. These are voters who have historically voted Republican, but do not necessarily prefer Donald Trump. In fact, reports suggest undecided voters make up a small fraction of the overall electorate, which is just between 2% and 5%, depending on the poll. A poll analysis in the battleground states from the New York Times and Siena College revealing a mere 3.7% of voters, which is about 1.2 million people, were still truly undecided. Based on another analysis by the Times, Black voters make up about 21% of those undecided. And these polls help campaign strategists understand what they are up against, what's the challenge. They can start by asking the questions. Why are so many Black voters undecided, for example? Now, you may be thinking, if these voters have not made up their minds yet, why are the two campaigns, why are the two candidates so invested in winning them in the first place? Why should both camps reboot their respective strategies for them? Why spend hundreds of millions of dollars in campaigns to persuade them? Well, the answer is quite simple. Like we said before, not deciding to vote for either may just be a decision in itself. It is like making a political statement in itself. For Harris and Trump, that sounds like a major opportunity. It means that both Harris and Trump can move beyond their traditional vote base and try and influence this particular section of undecided voters. They can work towards helping them make a decision in their favor. Let's also give you some recent poll updates. So far, it's a neck-and-neck competition between Harris and Trump, with several opinion polls suggesting that the two are deadlocked in a tight race. According to ABC News poll, in the national poll averages, Harris is leading with 48%, whereas Trump is standing at 46%, a thin margin between the two, as you can see, and the gap seems to be narrowing. Even in 7 swing states, the race is extremely tight, with neither of the candidates enjoying a decisive lead as per the polling averages. Now, while these polls show the popularity of the candidates across the country, they cannot necessarily predict the election results all that accurately, which is where the undecided voters come in as a key deciding factor for the elections. But what do these undecided voters want from their elected leader? What are the key issues that they face? What are their concerns? As per research conducted by Trump's team, the undecided voters seem to be particularly focused on the economy. They want better jobs, improved working conditions, financial benefits. They also seem to be concerned with immigration, inflation, prices of groceries, housing issues of basic sustenance, living standards, well-being. These are legitimate concerns and demands to have. In an election as close as the polls are predicting, every vote counts, every opinion matters in shaping the future of the country. As the countdown is nearing, will the Harris or Trump camp win over the undecided voters is the question. And the answer will come on the 5th of November. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.